With that, we now have every single one of the items we need, all 5 body parts from all the mansions of the game. And now we have one thing left to do. And that's travel to the right or east of this mansion to an area we haven't been to before. Deal with 2 more towns that we will have to walk through to get to it. And then it's the final area of the game. Like I said before, I can't really call it a mansion, a dungeon. It's a rundown version of the castle from Castlevania 1. It's the rundown Castlevania. And at the end of it's a sacred like pit area. We will throw all the body parts we've collected into the pit, and then Dracula will be resurrected. Even though he won't look like Dracula, he'll look like a Grim Reaper actually. But that's what we'll do in order to resurrect Dracula, and then we're gonna burn him with the sacred flame. Because of course we have to burn the body anyway to, like it said, we have to burn the body to kill it. But also the fact that when you throw a sacred flame at him, he can't move. You keep throwing flames at him, he can't move, he can't throw any objects at you, he can't do anything, and he's one of the easiest bosses in video game history. Or especially final boss in any video game. As here is the second to last town. This is Petra. Like I said, the second to last town. There is no more items that I need to pick up in these towns. And this is just kind of a flat town, nothing really going on. Go past the town, and we'll have a couple more little areas to go to. This is a little bit of a pain. Gotta be careful of the fishman. You don't want to jump with one of the fishmen on the platform. You want to take him out beforehand, just so you don't accidentally get hit and get knocked into the water and lose a life. As that one tried to fire a fireball at me and missed me, thankfully. Jump over the skeleton. Okay, more these random ghoul guys. I don't know what they quite are. They're like weird monster. Like these ones are yellow. I guess they're like swamp monsters. Maybe they're swamp thing. That's the only thing I can think about what they would be. And it's another horrible night for a curse. Yay. Some more swamp to deal with, but I don't have any laurels, and I don't really need them to get through this area. I only lost 1 total health during that little bit right there. Now I'm going to head down these stairs right here, and that's going to lead us to the final town of the game, which we don't need to pick up anything in it, either, just the previous town. We don't have to pick up anything in here, but still have to walk through it, and be careful while walking through it, just so I don't fall down any of the pits or water areas, whatever you want to call them. That's the worst, dying in a town, especially a town during the day when there's no enemies around. That's like, really, that really sucks. Now we have one last little area to walk through with mummies located in it. After this area I'm taking a little bit of damage, I'm trying to get through it pretty quickly. We'll come to a random bridge that we'll have to use some holy water to knock out some bricks. After which we can actually go on the bridge, and that bridge will lead us to Castlevania. Here it is. Use the holy water, knock out a couple of these bricks. Now we have the long trek to the sacred room where the pit will be, where we will put the items together and kill Dracula again. Because there's no enemies from here on out. It's just a long, boring walk between here and the final room. And here it is. This is the final area of the game, this rundown Castlevania, if you've never seen it before. But this is it. It's nothing going on. The music's kind of nice, but other than that, there's no enemies. There's some more holy waters in order to open up the area. Travel down these stairs, and I have to make one relatively tough jump, but it doesn't kill you if you miss it or anything. It's just a little bit of a pain to do the jump. Head down, move over. Like I said, pretty boring area. I don't even know why they would have thought this was a good idea. Maybe they ran out of time. Maybe they decided since you already destroyed the castle in the first Castlevania game, there wouldn't be any enemies here. But clearly Dracula's army still exists because they're all over the other places, so why wouldn't they still be here kind of like protecting it? So that if you got all Dracula's body, even though we only picked up 5 parts, that the members of the army could actually, stop you from resurrecting him and killing him again. But I guess they didn't think about that part. Here's the final room. We're going to throw all 5 of the parts we picked up. They will somehow collide into one bag and flash a little bit, fall in, and here we go. Final boss. And to beat it, all we're going to do is stand back and throw flames at him. Half the time you won't be able to see them because they'll kind of glitch in and out because the graphics, kind of messing up a little bit. But he won't be able to move. You keep timing it, just keep throwing flames, jumping and throwing flames. After, you know, a minute, not even a minute, probably like 30 seconds or so of doing this, he'll be taken care of. There he is, he's done, he dies. And that's the final boss. And here's the ending of the game. This is, like I said before, this is the best ending in the game. We see Simon kneeling in front of the grave of Dracula. And now we have some very, very slow-moving text. I mean, I've made fun of text moving slow in other random games, especially on NES, but this one, like, takes the cake, I think. This one's some of the slowest moving ending text ever. I guess they wanted to make sure that the whole song played all the way through before, you know, you were done with it, but still, I'm like, I don't understand why the text has to move this slow. It could be instant, we could read it real quick, then it could fade out slowly, and then we could get some more text. I mean, they don't need to take this long. Anyway, it's just saying that, yay, by killing Dracula, we return peace. That's pretty much it. I mean, pretty much what you would expect from an ending, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't need to move this slow. And some words are pretty big, like penetrated. Do we need to see that word written out letter by letter? Oh man. Overall, Simon's Quest is a pretty decent game, I think, and it's a good Castlevania game. Especially when you compare nowadays when there's more storyline-driven Castlevanias, there's more item collecting Castlevanias. That this one kind of falls into like the early versions of that. And since it does have multiple endings, it gives you an incentive to beat it fast. And here's the twist ending. The grave shakes, and then we'll see a hand pop out, signifying that Dracula's still alive, even though I thought we burned his entire body. Somehow his arm did not burn. But either way, that's going to wrap up another edition of Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.